Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Be in Tune podcast. What up? Yay! This is so exciting. I've been waiting for this moment for a while. Hi, everyone. My name is Darian Santana, and I will be your host for this podcast. So, some of you may be wondering from the jump, do we really need another podcast in the world? No. And yet, I am doing one. And there's a reason why I am. So I'm going to kind of break that down for you a little bit. So be in tune. That's the name of this lovely podcast. What does it mean? It means to be in tune with your higher power. For me, it is God. Right? I've been believing in God since I was a baby. I really believe that there is a God, that He sent His Son to die for us, and that His will is the best. So that's my belief. And if it's not your belief, that is okay. It Please do not let it discourage you from the pod or discourage you from listening from this point on. Keep listening because I'm going to explain more about what this pod is about. But I'm just explaining to you that that is my belief and my perspective on life. Okay. Uh, Also, be in tune means to be in tune with yourself. It means to be in tune with others. It means to uh, be in it with whatever it is that you're doing. Okay. So I think to kind of give you a little bit more context on be in tune, I'm going to kind of explain to you uh, w- what got me here, what got me into wanting to do a podcast, what got me into wanting to do another podcast that we so do not need in the world. So as I mentioned, my name is Darian Santana, and I am the host of this pod. I am also a licensed mental health counselor. Okay, what? All my therapist friends out there, what's going on? Yes, I am a therapist, and I am the owner of a therapy practice called Imperfectly Tuned Counseling. Oh, my baby. Imperfectly Tuned Counseling actually was established last year. I've been doing therapy for a while. It's just last year I decided to quit my job and open up my own practice. And I really believe that God led me to that. Because let me tell you this, opening up my own private practice, that was my plan for when I was in my 50s. Right? That was gonna be like my getting to retirement plan. Like I've done it. I've worked for people, I worked for others, I worked in different organizations, different practices, and it's time for me to start slowly transitioning my way out of the field and living my life, the rest of my life the best way possible. Um, I really felt like God was like, "Yeah, that's cute that you thought that was your plan. Actually, we're going to fast forward that plan. We're gonna not fast forward. We're gonna bring it back 20 years prior." Okay, so opening up a practice in my 30s, didn't think that I was ever gonna do it. Didn't think that I could do it, and I learned otherwise. With the amazing support of family and friends, we are here, and Imperfectly Tuned is about to celebrate a year. Ah, so exciting. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get a little emotional if I keep talking about my therapy practice. I'm talking about it like as if it's a baby, but it's not, but it's my baby. Okay, anywho. So, yes, last year I opened up the practice, and boy, was that a year of, like, transition for me because I was going from speaking therapy lingo every day to speaking business, lingo. My accountant, shout out to him because the amount of times in our meetings I had to be like, "Alan, run that back. I I I I think I got it. I think I got 50% of what you're saying. Now I'm getting close. Now I'm at, like, 80% when he tells me things, especially about taxes. Like, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. But I went to school for therapy. I didn't go to school for business, and so learning how to open up a business, learning how to create a business model and learning what to do and what's income's coming in, revenue, all of that jazz, all of that accounting lingo. Shout out to the accountants because I don't know how y'all do it every day, but that's amazing. Um, it was quite a transition for me. And at the same time, I lost someone very, very close to me last year, my abuelo. One thing you need to know about me is that I'm a musician, and my abuelo was a musician. My abuelo was he was just that guy. He was just that guy. He was a painter, a beautiful artist, and a musician, which musicians are artists as well. So, um, rest in peace, abuelo. Definitely miss him. He was the one that bought me my first guitar. And I still have that guitar to this day, Luna, as I so lovingly uh, call it. And he passed away last year. Um, I long for the day when I can see him again, for him and I to just jam again. It's going to be quite a party. I'm just telling you that right now. It's going to be quite a party. So losing him was tough, along with trying to open up a business. So that going back to the name of this pod, that definitely got me to all these transitions and this grief got me to be even more in tune with my higher power, with God, be more in tuned with His will for me, His plans, and more in tune with His love that He has for me. I know I'm loved. I know I'm loved. I know I'm loved by Him. I know I'm loved by God, by my mama, by my papi, and by my sissies. And I know I'm loved by other people, but those are definitely like the main ones, you know? So definitely had to be in tuned with God's love, um, just to get me going, just to get me moving, just to keep me on this plan, this path that He put me on. And it's been such an amazing journey. Has been full of some heartache. It has been full of some difficulties, some challenges for sure. But when you're starting anything new, that's just the name of the game, right? When you're doing something different, something that you've never done before, it's uncomfortable. Lord have mercy. It is uncomfortable. It is a struggle. And it's more important than ever for you to be tuned in to your higher power, to be tuned in to your loved ones, to be tuned in to the people who got your back. Now, let me emphasize that part. The people who got your back, the people who are supportive in your life, not the people who throw some passive aggressive comments your way, right? Or who knock you down or who disrespect you. That's not who you need to be tuned into. You need to be tuned into the people that want to see you succeed, the people that want to support you. Can't help myself. I sound like such a therapist right now. That's what I am. So this pod uh, is also about uh, you guys getting to know the person behind the therapist. If you're in the Massachusetts area and if you're looking for a therapist, holler at your girl, right? If, if, if that was just too much and you're like, no thanks, I'd be like, okay, that's okay. Just go to therapy. Because that's also my motto, right? That everyone should go to therapy. I need to have that as a t-shirt. Go to therapy. Just do it. Everyone could benefit from therapy. Everyone. Absolutely everyone. So, but like I was mentioning before, this pod is about folks getting to know the person behind the therapist. You get to know me. You get to know a little bit of my interests. You get to know or more like understand, learn and understand on how I think, how I view the world, how I view therapy, how I view healing, how I view emotions, how I view behavioral science um, in general. And it's going to be quite an amazing journey. Let me tell you that. I always think that I think differently from others. And that could be the case at times, right? But you know what? I'm learning too that it's okay. It's okay to be yourself. Definitely encouragement, right? So be you. This pod is also going to be a safe space for people, um, for people to be themselves. Okay. As I mentioned at the beginning, I told you that I believe in God and that I have a relationship with God, right? And I also said if that's something that dissuades you from wanting to listen to this pod, I'm gonna say that I'm not gonna preach the gospel at you, and I'm not gonna shove Jesus down your throat. There's already so many Christians who do that. I put Christians in quote, right? That's not my style. There's no need for that. But that's who I am. That is who I am. Okay, and that is again my belief, right? The pod is also going to encourage you to be yourself. I said be in tune with yourself. That's the reason why this pod is called Be in Tune. We gotta do some self-reflection here. The world is a mess. And the reason why I'm doing a pod is because not because I'm trying to be an influencer and I'm trying to get my a lot of people in my business. Nope. I'm good. There's no need for me to get vulnerable in public just to increase my business. And there's no need for me to get vulnerable in public to be an influencer. I'm good. No, seriously, I'm good. But I'm also like to listen to podcasts and I like interviews. I'm really fond of them. And I also like to read up on what people are, believing in and what they're following in. And there's some things that are being said that are just like, "Huh? Where did we get that from?" And, "Excuse me, sir or ma'am, have we done therapy? Like, what's going on here?" Some information that's being shared is misinformation. We're all about the facts nowadays, right? Especially in this country. What are the facts, right? Oh, and we like to call out some facts as lies, right? And we like to make some lies as facts. Like, what on earth? The world, like I said, it's a mess. The mess. And there's a lot of voices out there. And I'm not saying that my voice is the correct voice. I'm just saying I'm gonna do my part, and this is my belief that we are called on this earth to like our purpose is to help one another. We're called to be good stewards of this earth. Okay. So that means that I like to be mindful of what I say. And what I say, I like to make sure that it has some level of accuracy to it. No, not some level of accuracy. I hope that it's accurate. I hope that what I'm telling you is the truth. Right. Um, I hope you guys understood what I was saying there. If you didn't, don't worry. I'll explain it more on a different pod. But like I said, purpose, right? Our purpose is to help one another. So therefore, this is my way of helping. And this is also I also believe in kindness and goodness and love. And this is just my way of trying to spread some kind words, some goodness, and some love. Because boy, do we need it. We're just like at each other's throats. Lord have mercy. Makes me anxious. It just makes me anxious. And upset and heartbroken. So that's what this pod is. It's a safe space. It's a safe space where people can be themselves. And you will not be judged. Okay. You will be loved. You will be accepted. I won't always agree with everything that you say, but you will be loved and accepted. Okay. I think that's pretty fair. And third, we're going to have interviews on this pod. Okay. I got some amazing, amazing friends. You don't even know about them. The world needs to know about them. Okay. And I'm not a big time person, but to, first of all, to be able to just spend like time talking to my friends, like on a one to one, that's exciting. That's exciting for me. And my friends are very, very knowledgeable individuals. There's some family members that I got that I'm like, you definitely coming on the pod because I want to hear more on your perspective, and I think you need to share it with the masses, right? And so the people that I bring on, they're all coming from a unique perspective. They all have a certain a talent, a belief, a skill set, an interest that they find fascinating, and I find fascinating. So, going off of that first thing that I said about you're getting to know the person behind the therapist, you're gonna learn and see and hear about the things that I'm interested in, right? I'm going to interview folks who share that interest and who are knowledgeable in those interests. So it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. And of course, we are gonna talk about psychology. Like, there's just no way that we're not gonna talk about psychology. There's no way we're not gonna talk about this thing called emotions. Your feelings? Oh, yeah, we're gonna talk about them, and we're gonna talk about how sometimes we act in the mess because we're acting out of our emotion mind, and sometimes we're doing some things that are just like, "Huh?" because we're trying to be too logical and not acknowledge our feelings. Yeah, and I'm breaking down a DBT wise mind model right there. That was just a little snippet of it, a little snippet of it. But we're definitely going to talk about psychology. We're going to talk about emotions. We're going to talk about thoughts. We're going to talk about the things and all the things, right? Things that make us uncomfortable, especially emotions that make us uncomfortable. There's one emotion that I see in my field that dissuades people from being them true selves and or their true selves, I should say. And it's shame. Shame is such a strong emotion. It's an emotion that tells us to hide. It encourages us to hide, isolate from others, to not be ourselves, right? Kind of whispers in our ear saying you're not good enough, right? That you what you think doesn't matter, that you don't matter. Shame. Guilt is that you do something bad. Shame is saying that I am bad. And there's a lot of people walking around on this planet thinking that they are bad. Now, do some people engage in some actions that would be categorized as bad? Yes, right? But that negative core belief that we can have that is run by that emotion of shame, man, you're not being your best self. You're not being your best. You're not living your life uh, as your best self. And we need to talk about it. We need to talk about it. And I'm here to encourage you to do something about it. I'm here to encourage you to seek the help that you need, right? Seek the help that will help you challenge those shameful thoughts, that help you challenge that emotion, that help you see yourself in a different light. Do the work. I know it's painful. And it's hard. It is. And you may be thinking, well, you're a therapist. Of course you're going to say that. Yeah, I'm also human and I had to do my own work. Okay. You think I just went to school and was just like, "I'm gonna be a therapist, and I'm just gonna listen to people's problems and never work on my own?" Bruh, that's not no. No, 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 no. That's not how that works. My first day of grad school, actually, not even, the orientation for my grad program, we were in this camp in the middle of nowhere. Like, Lord have mercy, where am I? Um, I'll explain further details on that story and maybe on a different pod. But in orientation, one of the professors was welcoming us, and they said this: "If you are not in therapy, if you haven't done therapy, and you have a lot of, like, unresolved issues, you better quit this program right now and go work on yourself." Like, that was the essence of what they said. So that wasn't exactly what they said, but that was the essence of what they said. And it was a warning because we are about to do at that time, I did 3 years. Some of my peers did 2 years. Intense program where you gotta learn how to be there for other people. You gotta learn how to be there, show up for others, right? Hold other people's emotions, right? And continue to do that every single day and write 1,001 developmental papers. Again, like I said, it was a warning. It was an encouragement. It was a warning and an encouragement, right? It was a warning of, hey, this is going to be tough for you to do this work and to hold space for other people when you got your own stuff that's constantly clouding you. It's constantly coming into your future therapy session. And it was an encouragement for us therapists to do our own work and to do our own self reflection, not just by like ourselves, but go seek the professional help to do it and to be there properly for your client. We're not perfect. We're human. Sometimes life be lifing, right? We'll have seasons where we're doing okay, and then we'll have seasons that we're just like, "Oh my goodness, I don't know how I'm gonna show up to work today. I don't know how I'm gonna do this therapy session," right? Speaking from a therapist perspective, right? And let me tell you something, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to say, "Hey, I need help." It's okay to say, "Hey, I'm gonna go do some work on myself." It's okay to say, "I'm not okay, and I need to lean on my supports. I need to lean on my people." So I hope you get that from this pod, and I hope you get that, particularly when we talk about uh, certain psychological theories, right? And when we talk about emotions, because just may be an emotion. I'm like, we're talking about disgust today. I don't know why that emotion popped into my head, but it did. Or we are talking about disgust today. Let's break that down. Again, say that this is a place of encouragement. This is a place of acceptance, safety, right? And we're just gonna learn together. We're just gonna grow together as I'm gonna learn, right? I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna in this pod, I'm gonna stretch myself. I'm gonna push myself to grow. So future interviews that I have, they're gonna teach me a lot of things. And I'm excited for it. So thank you, family, for listening to this. I know we family already. Future listeners, look at that. I already called you family. Welcome to the B and 2 family. Thank you for listening to this. I look forward to growing and learning with you. And remember, be in tune.